over 6 decades, Bank of Industry has been here, driving Nigeria's industrial development through financial and business support services to micro enterprises, small and medium enterprises, and large enterprises across Nigeria. Leveraging on strategic partnerships, we provide equipment financing, working capital, and support to enterprises in key sectors of Nigeria's economy, including youth and women-led enterprises. Whatever your business needs, starting up, expansion, diversification, modernization, or rehabilitation, we'll be here, always to support you. Bank of Industry, transforming Nigeria's industrial sector.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of BOI Impact. I am Sheung Olagunju. It is an established fact that the Bank of Industry is Nigeria's oldest, largest and most successful development finance institution. The Investment Company of Nigeria Limited, better known as ICON Limited, which is one of BOI's precursor institutions, was incorporated in 1959 and thereafter reconstructed to the Nigerian Industrial Development Bank in 1964. It became the Bank of Industry, BOI, in 2001. It is gratifying to know that 64 years on, the bank has successfully scaled up its involvement in promoting rapid multi-sectoral growth and development of the Nigerian economy. Based on its remarkable performances since inception, the Bank of Industry has consolidated its position as a highly reputable brand. Over an impressive 64-year span, especially since its successful transformation into the Bank of Industry 22 years ago, the bank has year-on-year continued to post spectacular financial results while making considerable developmental impacts. Recently, BOI held its 63rd annual general meeting, where its 2022 accounts were presented. The meeting was attended by BOI's major shareholders, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Ministry of Finance Incorporated, MOFI, and representatives of the bank's supervising ministry, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, as well as other relevant stakeholders. The chairman of the board of BOI, Alhaji Aliyu Abdurrahman Diko, presided over the meeting. BOI's managing director and CEO, Mr. Olukayode Piton, and executive directors also attended the meeting held in Abuja, where the bank's chairman announced that it maintained appreciable growth in its financial performance in the year. The bank's group assets grew by 39.2% between 2021 and 2022 from 1.7 trillion to 2.38 trillion naira. Profit before tax grew by 15.6% between 2021 and 2022. BOI also declared the dividend of over 7.8 billion naira. Here are more details of BOI's success story in the past year as revealed at the 63rd Annual General Meeting. The Bank of Industry's mandate is to provide financial assistance for the establishment of large, medium, micro and small projects, as well as expansion, diversification and modernization of existing enterprises and rehabilitation of existing ones. BOI aims to positively impact entrepreneurs to bring their dreams to life, which consequently helps in catalyzing Nigeria's industrial transformation. To commence the 63rd Annual General Meeting, BOI's Company Secretary, Mrs. Olufunlola Salami, read the notice of the meeting.
Notice is hereby given that the 63rd Annual General Meeting of Bank of Industry Limited will be held at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel, Abuja, on Thursday, May 18, 2023, at 11 a.m. precisely to transact the following businesses. Ordinary business. 1. To receive the audited accounts of the company for the financial year ended 31st December 2022, together with the reports of the directors, auditors, and board appraisers thereon. 2. To declare dividend. 3. To appoint or reappoint directors. 4, to reappoint the auditors of the company until the conclusion of the next general meeting of the company, at which the accounts are laid before the members, and to authorize the directors to fix their remuneration. 5, to increase the issued share capital of the company from the present 250 billion, that is 125 billion ordinary shares, to 500 billion naira, that is 250 billion ordinary shares, by the creation of additional 125 billion ordinary shares of 2 naira each, ranking pari passu on all respect with the existing ordinary shares of the company. Special business, to fix the remuneration of the non-executive directors, dated this 20th day of April, 2023.
The chairman of the bank, Malam Aliu Abdurrahman Diko, while delivering his annual statement, highlighted some strategic interventions and reforms of the federal government.
The federal government implemented various measures to support the economy in the year, having rehabilitated and constructed 8,352 kilometers of roads in the last 7 years of his administration. President Muhammadu Buhari commissioned several key infrastructural projects during the year, including the Second Niger Bridge, alongside several housing, rail, air, and seaports projects. The government also continued the implementation of projects under the Nigerian Economic Sustainability Plan towards rejuvenating the economy following the recession brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. One of such projects is the Micro, Small, Medium Enterprises Survival Fund, which was established to revive and re-establish Nigerian MSMEs post-pandemic. Being the implementing partner of this laudable program, the Bank of Industry has facilitated the disbursement of 67.5 billion to 1,258,188 beneficiaries since the launch of the fund in 2020, including 8.8 billion that was disbursed 376,240 beneficiaries in 2022.
He said the Nigerian banking industry experienced significant growth with the support of CBN, an increase in demand for the services of fintech and tech-based companies.
The Nigerian banking industry is a critical sector of the economy, serving as the main source of financing for businesses and households. The industry has experienced significant growth over the years, driven by increasing demand for financial services and growth of financial technology companies. The Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, has also implemented various reforms that are aimed at improving the quality of banking services, reducing the level of non-performing loans, and enhancing the stability and health of the financial system. In 2022, the CBN raised the monetary policy rate for 4 consecutive times in a bid to rein in the growing inflation in the economy. The CBN also redesigned 200 naira, 500 naira, and 1,000 naira towards mopping up excess liquidity and encouraging cashless system. Credit to Nigeria's private sector increased by 19.7%, or 6.88 trillion, to 41.8 trillion from 34.92 trillion in 2020 and 2021, respectively. The CBN noted that this growth was an all-time high, which economic analysts believe was driven by the 65% minimum loan-to-deposit ratio policy that was mandated on the commercial banks by the Apex Bank towards boosting credit to the real sector of the nation's economy. Apart from its intervention strategy, the CBN launched Tertiary Institutions Entrepreneurs Scheme in November 2021. The scheme is targeted as empowering graduates of Nigerian polytechnics and universities with entrepreneurial skills for economic and entrepreneurship development, as well as job creation. The Bank of Industry was appointed as the implementation agency of this laudable scheme and disbursed the sum of $345.5 million to 96 beneficiaries on behalf of the CBN in 2022. The Nigerian manufacturing industry is a key sector of the country's economy and has the potential to play a major role in creating jobs and driving economic growth. The overall growth rate of the sector in 2022 was 2.45% when compared to the preceding year, while the real contribution to the national GDP in the fourth quarter of the year was 8.4%, which is slightly lower than 8.46% that was recorded in the same quarter of 2021. In the fourth quarter of 2022, the real GDP in the sector was 2.83% on a year-on-year basis, higher than same quarter of 2021 by 0.55 percentile points, and also higher than the preceding quarter by 4.74 percentile points.
He gave insights into the bank's performance in 2022.
I am pleased to announce that the Bank of Industry Group maintained appreciable growth in its financial performance in the year. Total assets of the group grew by 39.2% between 2021 and 2022, from 1.71 trillion to 2.38 trillion, respectively. This growth was largely due to the 3 successful capital raising transactions worth €1.8 billion. The group also reported a growth of 11.7% in its total equity between 2021 and 2022, from 384.85 billion to 429.83 billion, respectively. Profit before tax followed the same trend, reporting 15.6% growth from 62.28 billion to 71.99 billion in 2021 and 2022, respectively. Likewise, loans and advances improved by 3.2% from 780.48 billion in 2021 to 805.6 billion in 2022. The remarkable financial performance of the group for the year depicts passionate and proactive disposition of the bank to continue to effectively deliver on its mandate as the macro economy gradually strengthens.
The chairman thanked the federal government, board of directors, management, staff and stakeholders, as well as customers of the bank for their continued support.
I wish to express our gratitude to all our stakeholders, namely the Presidency, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Central Bank of Nigeria, state governments, our customers, other governmental departments and agencies, as well as our numerous strategic partners who have worked tirelessly with us on the path to continued growth and prosperity. I would like to express my appreciation to my colleagues on the board, the management and the staff of the bank for their commitment, hard work, and dedication.
KPMG Professional Services and Chartered Accountants audited the 2022 books of the bank as required by law. Akinyemi Ashadi, a partner from the firm, presented the report.
We have audited the consolidated and separate financial statements of Bank of Industry Limited, the bank, and its subsidiaries, together the group, which comprise the consolidated and statements of financial position as at 31 December 2022, the consolidated and separate statement of profit or loss, the consolidated and separate statement of comprehensive income, the consolidated and separate statement of changes in equity, the consolidated and separate statement of cash flow for the year that ended, and the notes comprising significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. In our opinion, the accompanying consolidated and separate financial statements give a true and fair view of the consolidated and separate financial position of the company and its subsidiaries as at 31 December 2022, and of its consolidated and separate financial performance, and its consolidated and separate cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with the IFRS's standard as issued by the International Accounting Standard Board, and in the manner required by the Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020, and the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria Act 2011, the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020, and relevant Central Bank of Nigeria CBN guidelines and circulars. Report on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirements of Schedule 5 of Companies and Allied Matters Act, CAMA 2020. 1. We have obtained all the information and explanation which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audits. 2. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept by the company so far as appears from our examinations of those books, and proper returns and adequate for the purpose of our audits have been received from branches not visited by us. 3. The company's consolidated and separate statement of financial position, consolidated and separate statement of profit or loss, and consolidated and separate statement of comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of accounts and returns. Compliance with Sections 26, subsection 3 of the Banks and Other Financial Institutions Act 2020 and the Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD/1/2004. 1. The bank and the group paid no penalties during the period ended 31 December 2022. 2. The related party transactions and balances are disclosed in Note 38 to the consolidated and separate financial statement in compliance with the Central Bank of Nigeria Circular BSD/1/2004. I sign on behalf of KPMG, dated 14th April 2023, Lagos, Nigeria.
The Managing Director of BOI, Mr. Olukayode Piton, said the bank has been consistent in its financial performance over the years, in line with its vision to be Africa's leading development finance institution operating under global best practices.
The 63rd AGM is very, very significant. The result that we presented happens to be the best since the bank was created 63 years ago. You could see that the assets of the bank had increased from about 1.7 trillion in 2021 to 2.3 trillion in 2022. Bank of Industry was able to inflow about $2 billion into the country. The bank has grown. Apart from the profit of the bank, the assets of the bank, our major shareholders, the Ministry of Finance Incorporated and Central Bank, they have shown their confidence in the bank by increasing their stake in the bank. If you noticed today, one of the resolutions that was approved was that the share capital of the bank was increased from 250 billion to 500 billion. Ordinarily, the bank is doing well. Our shareholders' funds are over 400 billion naira. But we have some funds from our shareholders that are in deposit for shares. So by the time we put everything together and complete documentation, the shareholder funds of BOI will be very close to 600 billion naira. You say, well, that's a lot. We are getting towards the target that we have. If you ask me, where should that amount be? I would say minimum 1 trillion naira, because that will allow us to do more than we are doing. So we can leverage on the shareholders' funds of the bank.
He gave assurances that the bank will give more low-interest loans to enterprises.
This is a time for, the small and medium-sized companies to actually, come and take more loans from BOI. Because when you have the monetary policy rate at over 18%, and you are getting funds from us at about 10%, it means the funds from BOI are subsidized. So more than ever before, we're helping not only the SMEs at this time, we're helping the major corporations also, because they are getting money from us at rates that allows them, to reduce their costs, of production, and take long tenured money, because we are able to give loans for up to 7-8 years at a fixed rate. So this is a good time for SMEs, because we are actually helping to reduce one of the major costs of production for them.
BOI's 2022 stellar performance is indeed a manifestation of the hard work as well as strong commitment of the bank's board, management and staff who have continued to work tirelessly in fulfilling the bank's vision and mission and effectively deliver on its mandate. The bank's seasoned, diligent and professional staff are also ever ready to assist entrepreneurs to bring to fruition their potentially viable business plans. They abide strictly by the bank's core values, which are service, professionalism, passion, integrity, resourcefulness, innovation, and team spirit. If you require any of BOI's services, please visit any of our offices nationwide, our website, www.boi.ng, or any of our verified social media handles. We look forward to working with you to achieve the business of your dream. That's it on BOI Impact. I'm Sheung Olagunju. Thanks for watching.